So, yeah, so I have a question. If you have a restaurant concept and it's successful, you open this business and it's profitable, there's a line out the door. What are your friends and family, your other coworkers, other business owners in your world? What are they going to tell you, Ray? What advice are you likely to hear?
Open another one.
So that is exactly. I thought the same exact thing. I've shared threads on this before, and the subject of this story is Franklin BBQ in Austin, Texas. And so this is so funny, the timing of it, because the owner went on a podcast in August, and the owner said, quote, to the question, would you open another one? The owner said, quote, oh, we could. It sure would be a bummer, though, Franklin said on the podcast. I mean, it would never be as good. It would make the one we have not nearly as good. It would kill the magic, end quote. Fast forward to now we're in September, almost towards the end of September. News just broke that Franklin BBQ will open a separate location, but it's going to be an event space. And so, quote, the event space will be at 2027 Anchor Lane in Austin, about 3 miles northeast of the original smokehouse. And, quote, the event space will strictly be used for just that, events. Weddings, parties, other functions will be held there, and future plans include making it a public space, tailgate parties, and such. KXAN reported that Franklin still hasn't named the space, which could be in operation by late 2025. So we're like close. Like it could be happening in the next couple months. The second location for this famed business that, again, has like just consistent lines, consistent popularity. Even when we're talking about like traveling across the country and going to like a food conference, like food event space where you have all the tents and, you know, people may just do one dish on a little bamboo plate. Franklin BBQ, like I remember an event I went to in Portland several years ago, and it was like the outstanding favorite of that show was Franklin BBQ. And so I say this because of what I brought up as the hook to the show, to the story, is everybody's going to tell you to zig and you can zag. You have the opportunity to, because you are closer to your business than anybody else, they might be giving you this advice because it's like self-serving for them. It's like, oh, I hate that I have to drive 45 minutes to go to your business. Why don't you open one in this neighborhood? Not understanding that there's going to be so many negative implications for you if you're all able to acknowledge the fact that the scale is wrong, the team that I would have to expand is wrong, the infrastructure required doesn't exactly jam with all of this stuff. Franklin BBQ knows what's best for their own business. And so the way that they're doing this, we don't know if it's going to be successful. I could totally eat my words in a year, and then it could be like the Franklin BBQ event space closed down. And then we can maybe do a postmortem if that ends up happening. But my gut, as a person who I ran an event production company, they are so much more profitable. The scale is so much more like when you can predict that 270 people are going to come to this thing. Oh my goodness. Like the way that you can dial things in and staff better and your inventory is a little bit tighter and all of the things from a profitability perspective are just so much better than a standalone restaurant. It's like this is going to help everybody across the board. Because if you have a really, really large party that you want to bring to Franklin BBQ, how much does that contribute to the actual original restaurant feeling overwhelmed? Mm-hmm. And so I think all of this insight, wanting to keep the magic in the original location, like that I think is like founder mode in action. It's this person saying, I know what makes this special. There's a level of taste here that I think we're seeing exemplified. And I just want to call it out in the through line of all these stories that I'm covering, which is just doing it different. I don't know if you had thoughts hearing this.
No, I think this is going to be really good. I think that when you look at margins, restaurants are very small, very like low. Events yield a lot more opportunity, and so I think that in the vein of doing it different, or the spirit of doing it different, this idea that okay, what are we expanding for? If the expansion is for margins, I think then a lot of people like get it wrong. Like unless you're like a franchise like coffee shop or something, like if you have a successful brand, leverage that into a different business model or different business type. So instead of Franklin, wanting to just make another restaurant, make, another, like you'll get the same profit margin. I feel like they made this business decision where it's like twofold. Franklin BBQ is a destination. People travel to go eat there. So if you are going there to travel and eat, and then the second one pops up, it kind of takes away that the specialness of it. So if you open an event space, you're not only getting a better margin business, but you keep and protect the niche and almost like special reality of what Franklin BBQ is known for. So I actually think it's a really smart play, and I think more restaurants should leverage this idea of like, hey, we have a great brand, let's do different things with it, and not just open another spot. Not saying you shouldn't ever open another spot, but just something to consider.
Yeah, put the context into perspective. And if for a lot of businesses, opening a second location is an absolute no-brainer. But in the spirit of trying to add some nuance to the conversation, I want to give these examples when I see them being done, in my opinion, properly, correctly, ideally with a proper, like a very well constructed forward-looking forecast. I think this is just going to be a no-brainer money printer for them. And I think it's going to do awesome.